It's seafood time. Today we're going to make shrimp Alfredo pasta. We're going to use fettuccine noodles with a little Mike twist on it. So I hope you'll enjoy it. So we need some shrimp. That's about a pound. Fettuccine noodles, of course. A big box of spinach. Yummy. That's 1.5 cups of Parmesan. Some flour. Some cream. And cream cheese. Butter. Salt. Pepper. And 3 cloves of garlic. That's everything we're going to use. Well, let's put all this aside and get to making. Of course, the first thing we need is our pasta, nice and cooked, so a little bit of salt into the pot, boiling water. Let's get our stuff ready to roll. This is some onions I had in the fridge. Some onion ends, actually. You can dice them or slice them however you want. I was slicing them at first, and then I decided, we'll dice them. Either way, it doesn't take that long to do. You just gotta jump in and do it. So there's our onions. It's probably a good cup-ish of onion by the time I'm done. Carefully putting it back into the container till we need it. Just like that. So yeah, there's about a cup-ish of nicely diced onions. Our water's now boiling. Let's get our noodles in because that's going to take a while for them to cook. And of course I like breaking them in half. You don't have to. There's nothing stopping you. I like making extras. So there's leftovers the next day, you know. You can do it however you want. I like mixing it around like that just to make sure they don't all clump up. So here's our shrimp. I've taken the tails off each one, and they're a fair size, so I think I'm going to cut them in half. Now, my daughter doesn't like it when I do this, but I figure there's more shrimp for the dish. So, of course, this is completely up to you, how you want to do it. I just like to spread the shrimp around. I guess if you really wanted the bigger chunks, go put more shrimp in. I did have an extra half bag. I probably could have thrown the whole thing in if I wanted to. But we're working with this, so let's get her in a bowl until we need it. Now another bowl, we've got our cream cheese. This is about 3 to 4 ounces. Half a pack is 4 ounces, so, you know, measure it out accordingly. We need it softened, so I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. And the thing started exploding after about 20, but as you can see, it's nice and gooey, which is what you want. You want the ability to be able to mix that all around. Well, I've got my measuring mug out, and we are going to put 1.25 cups of cream. So there's our cup. And around 1/4. There. That should be plenty for our sauce. Now we're putting 1 tablespoon of flour into it, a tablespoon-ish. And of course our pepper. It's about 1/2 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Of course those are optional. And then we're going to carefully whisk everything together. I don't know about you, but flour just is not my friend when it comes to mixing around. We do the best we can do. Okay, the fun part. Here's our frying pan. Medium heat, of course. Good chunk of butter. That's about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. And the fun part is watching it melt down. And of course, if you don't want the butter to turn brown, the trick is you put a little splash of olive oil or vegetable oil in, and that prevents it from browning up. That's optional, of course. Once this gets at least nice and melty, we're going to throw our stuff in. Now that's the fun of cooking. I just love melting it. Well, here's a good chunk of our onions that we chopped up. We'll mix it around with the butter. Yummo. And as they turn translucent, guess what? All that spinach that was in the container, which was quite a bit, you can see it's pretty well filled our pan. And a traditional shrimp Alfredo is not going to have this in it, but since this is a Mike shrimp Alfredo, I can do it whatever I want. My daughter loved the spinach, and she said, can we throw it in? Sure, why not? And you can see how quickly it wilts down to almost nothing. From overtaking the pan down to, that's it. But that's going to give it some good flavor. Plus you feel a little healthy eating spinach, right? So here we are. This is our 3 cloves of garlic, all nice and minced up. And we're going to let that mix around with our spinach and onions. About 30 seconds, you should start smelling it be nice and garlicky. Our half-made Alfredo sauce goes in next. A little bit at a time. I don't want it to curdle. So we put a little bit into our pan and get the rest into the pan. Give it a good mix. Let everything combine. Yummy. Looks good. But we're not done at this point. Oh no. No, even though it's all nice and combined, we still got to add our cheese. So this has to stir constantly, 3 to 4 minutes. It'll start thickening up as it simmers and kind of cooks. But you just got to keep at it. It goes by pretty quick. So it looks pretty good at this point. Let's pull it off the heat. And now we're going to add our cheese. We'll do it in small lifts, mix it all around, put some more in, mix it all around. It looks pretty good. It's nice and thick now. It's nice and cheesy to boot. So with a little bit of butter, in goes our shrimp. And of course, we're just going to cook it until it turns orange. That way you know it's cooked. And off we go. We don't want it too chewy, so you don't want to overdo it. So in goes the rest of our onions and that nice cooked shrimp. Mix it all around. That's a hell of a nice sauce. It's looking really good. Our pasta is done. Off the element into our strainer. And I think we're going to return it back into our pot. So here's our plate. Let me get some pasta. Yummy. It's nice and steamy and wonderfully warm. Onto that goes our Alfredo sauce. Just like that. Napkin, fork. We're good to go. Now that looks like a great seafood meal. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this in any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.